Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. You don't have to be loud to be strong. That quiet strength defined the life and legacy of Robert Redford, an artist, pioneer, and guide for generations of filmmakers. Redford passed away at the age of 89, surrounded by loved ones. He died peacefully of natural causes after a life rich in creativity, passion, and purpose. With piercing blue eyes and a calm presence, Redford captivated audiences in unforgettable roles like Butch Cassidy, the charming con artist in The Sting, and the romantic lead in Out of Africa. These performances brought him worldwide acclaim and helped shape modern American cinema. But Redford didn't stop at acting. Behind the camera, he won an Academy Award for directing Ordinary People. Then he took things further, creating a space where new storytellers could thrive. In 1981, he co-founded the Sundance Institute, which led to the Sundance Film Festival, the heartbeat of independent film in America. Thanks to Redford's vision, bold stories like Reservoir Dogs and Little Miss Sunshine found their audiences. Beyond the screen, he championed environmental causes and stood up for political change. Friends and colleagues often spoke of his humility and generosity. He gave time, wisdom, and support to countless young artists, never asking for the spotlight. The Sundance Institute offered a moving tribute, saying, "Storytellers broaden our minds, engage, provoke, inspire, and ultimately connect us." That was his purpose, to connect people in quiet but powerful ways. Filmmaker Ava DuVernay once called him the godfather of independent cinema, always listening, always encouraging. That gentle mentorship is as much a part of his legacy as his starring roles. Robert Redford's influence will live on in every film that dares to take a risk, in every voice that tells an untold story. His work changed what film could be, and made the world feel just a little more connected. Tributes to Robert Redford. Number 6. Marilyn was sunshine on set. Everyone felt it. She made the tough days brighter, once said a fellow actor who worked with her during the golden days of Hollywood. Marilyn Knowlden, whose on-screen magic touched generations, has passed away peacefully at the age of 99. Her passing came from natural causes after a long and meaningful life, both in and beyond the spotlight. She entered film at just 4 years old and quickly lit up the screen. In imitation of life, she gave an unforgettable performance as Jessie Pullman, standing out in a film honored for its deep cultural significance. She brought young Cosette to life in Les Miserables, held her own with Katharine Hepburn in Little Women, and moved audiences in David Copperfield and Angels with Dirty Faces. Over a span of 13 years, she appeared in some of the most prestigious films of the era, without ever signing with just one studio. That freedom allowed her to work with legends like James Cagney, Claudette Colbert, Humphrey Bogart, and Bette Davis. Each role Marilyn played was carried with grace and insight far beyond her years. But her story didn't end when the cameras stopped rolling. After leaving Hollywood, Marilyn poured her heart into music, writing, and theater. As a playwright and composer, she kept the arts alive in her community. Her autobiography, Little Girl in Big Pictures, shared her journey and inspired many. She also found joy in her greatest role, being a mother. She raised 3 children and remained active in the arts, mentoring others and spreading kindness wherever she went. Even in her later years, her spark never dimmed. To those who knew her or grew up watching her in black and white films, Marilyn represented warmth, talent, and a quiet strength. She reminded us that greatness doesn't always shout. It often smiles gently and lifts others along the way. She is survived by her children and extended family, whose love was always her greatest pride. The details of her memorial services will be shared in due time. With her timeless performances, radiant spirit, and devotion to the arts, Marilyn Knowlden will never be forgotten. Tributes to Marilyn Knowlden. Number 5. A beloved figure whose performances brought joy and heart to our holiday celebrations. These words from Hallmark capture just a glimpse of the warmth Paula Shaw shared with the world. She passed away peacefully in Vancouver at the age of 84, leaving behind an enduring legacy built over more than 60 years in film and television. Paula's career knew no limits. She was the chilling Pamela Voorhees in Freddy vs. Jason, a loving grandmother in Hallmark favorites, and a deeply memorable presence in shows like The X-Files and Barney Miller. Her roles spanned genres, from cult classics like Reindeer Games to heartfelt stories like Hanukkah on Rye and Round and Round. No matter the script, she brought truth, tenderness, and strength to every character. Raised in New York City, Paula honed her passion through decades of study and performance. As a lifelong member of the Actors Studio, she remained devoted to the craft. Beyond acting, she gave generously of her time to mentor young artists, often offering a steady and encouraging hand. Those who worked with her speak of a rare combination: talent paired with kindness, humility matched with quiet confidence. On set, she was known not only for her preparation, but for her grace and compassion. Off-camera, she was just as admired, always open, thoughtful, and deeply present. She brought families together during the holidays through Hallmark's most cherished films, becoming a familiar, comforting face across living rooms year after year. Her role as Helen Atwater in A Mrs. Miracle Christmas and Grandma Rosie in Round and Round introduced her to new generations, all of them touched by her warmth. Paula passed away following a brief illness. She is survived by her immediate family, and while they have chosen to grieve privately, the public's outpouring of love speaks volumes. Her artistry lives on in every performance and in the hearts of those lucky enough to know her. Paula Shaw leaves behind a legacy not just of talent, but of kindness, generosity, and dedication to storytelling. Tributes to Paula Shaw. Number 4. Anyone who comes away from this work anything less than charmed by Ms. Hagerty has a heart of stone. Those were Anthony Bourdain's words about Marilyn Hagerty, the beloved columnist whose heartfelt writing turned everyday meals into stories that resonated across the country. At 99, Marilyn passed away peacefully, leaving behind a legacy built on sincerity, humility, and a deep love for her community. For over 8 decades, Marilyn chronicled the life and flavors of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Her writing never chased trends. It celebrated the familiar. Her 2012 review of the town's Olive Garden, warm-hearted and genuine, unexpectedly went viral, drawing national attention and praise for its honesty. That viral moment wasn't just a flash. It was a reflection of who Marilyn was: authentic, kind, and refreshingly sincere. She began her career in the 1940s, writing for her high school paper in South Dakota. With a journalism degree in hand, She went on to work in newsrooms and radio before settling in Grand Forks in the late 1950s. There she became a fixture at the Grand Forks Herald, reporting on everything from local diners to everyday events with care and curiosity. Her published collections, like Grand Forks, A History of American Dining and 128 Reviews, offered a unique take on the evolution of American dining. Anthony Bourdain, a longtime admirer of her voice, even wrote the book's foreword. In recognition of her work, Marilyn received numerous honors. These included the Al Neuharth Award for Excellence in the Media, the University of North Dakota Spirit Award, and an honorary degree. But her greatest achievement wasn't a single column or an award. It was how she made readers feel seen and valued. With a pen and a gentle wit, she reminded us that every town and every person has a story worth telling. University of North Dakota President Andy Armacost called her a treasure for our city, the state, and the nation. It's a sentiment shared far beyond the borders of North Dakota. Marilyn Hagerty is survived by her children, including James R. Hagerty, and a devoted readership who saw in her words a reflection of kindness. Her light shone quietly but steadily, and it will continue to do so through the stories she gave us. Tributes to Marilyn Hagerty. Number 3. He had the look, the heart, and the glimmer of a star on the rise. That's how one film historian described Trax Colton, a young man destined for the silver screen, if only for a moment in time. Trax Colton, remembered for his unforgettable role as Spiridon Lewis in It Happened in Athens, has passed away at the age of 87. He died peacefully in September 2025, surrounded by loved ones, after a brief illness. In the early 1960s, Colton caught Hollywood's attention with quiet strength and natural charm. When 20th Century Fox cast him opposite Jane Mansfield in the 1962 romantic drama, audiences saw the potential of a fresh, clean-cut leading man. Colton brought dignity and athletic grace to the role, portraying the Greek marathon runner with both humility and heart. Although It Happened in Athens would be his only starring credit, the performance left a lasting impression. Quiet but powerful, Colton's presence was one that lingered in the memories of classic film lovers. Off-screen, he was known for his kindness and simple way of living. Colleagues recalled how he listened more than he spoke, and took great pride in showing respect to everyone on set. Even as he stepped away from the industry shortly after his debut, friends say he never had any regret. His love for the craft was genuine, and so was his decision to step away. He lived most of his later years out of the spotlight, surrounded by family. Despite his brief career, the legacy he leaves is strong, a testament to how a single role, played with honesty, can echo through decades. A film enthusiast wrote, "Trax Colton embodied an era. You watch him, and you see both the promise and the passing of golden Hollywood. He is survived by a close-knit circle of family and friends. Though his time in films was short, Trax Colton remains a cherished part of cinema history." Tributes to Trax Colton. Adasi. Number 2. Few people had a stronger passion for music than Thomas. Rest well, Tampa. The red in the sky is yours. These words from Decibel magazine capture what so many feel about Thomas Lindberg, a towering figure in the global metal community, and a beloved soul far beyond it. Thomas passed away at 52 after a courageous battle with a rare form of cancer. The news left fans, friends, and fellow musicians grieving a man whose voice helped shape an entire genre. Born in Gothenburg, Thomas was more than just the frontman of At the Gates. He was one of the architects of melodic death metal, a sound that continues to inspire thousands. With albums like Slaughter of the Soul, Thomas didn't just scream into the microphone, he made history. His talent didn't stop there. Over the years, he lent his raw, commanding vocals to groups like Night Rage and appeared as a guest on songs by bands, including Darkest Hour and Slow Motion Apocalypse. Roadrunner Records named him one of the 50 greatest metal frontmen of all time, recognition that felt long overdue to those who followed his work from the start. But ask anyone who knew him and they'll likely talk first about who he was offstage. Thomas was approachable, humble, and endlessly supportive of new artists. He celebrated the underground, mentored upcoming bands, and never stopped listening or learning. Away from the spotlight, Thomas also worked as a social studies teacher, a role that showed his deep care for people, community, and knowledge. From Gothenburg to festival stages around the world, Thomas left a wake of respect, admiration, and friendship. He connected with thousands through music, but countless more through kindness. He is survived by his wife, his children, and his bandmates, those who shared his life in its most personal moments. The world has lost a legend. But Thomas Lindberg's voice, passion, and generosity remain etched in the hearts of all who ever felt moved by his music. Tributes to Thomas Lindberg. What's trending on the internet? News 1. Imagine the sparkling halls of Downton Abbey or the gilded ballrooms of New York's high society. One remarkable man has brought these worlds to life. At 76 years old, Julian Fellowes, born in Cairo and raised in England, continues to enchant audiences as the brilliant creator behind both Downton Abbey and the Gilded Age. Julian's storytelling journey spans from his days as a young actor to becoming an Oscar and Emmy-winning writer, delighting generations with tales of love, loss, and legacy in times gone by. His work draws from a treasure trove of real family history and old-world stories shared by beloved relatives, a true family tradition passed on to all of us, one episode at a time. His contributions have brought comfort and joy, inspiring countless viewers to reminisce about the beauty of tradition and the power of resilience. As a new Downton Abbey film prepares for release, communities far and wide continue to honor Julian's timeless legacy with celebrations filled with elegance and gratitude. So tonight, as we reflect on the passion and imagination of Julian Fellowes, let's remember how stories connect us, invite us to dream, and remind us that history, like family, is something to cherish. News 2. Let's take a moment to celebrate the inspiring story of Lori Harvey, the 28-year-old model and entrepreneur who's opening up about her health journey to help others. Growing up in Los Angeles, Lori faced years of painful symptoms, acne, weight gain, and even excessive facial hair, all starting when she was just 16. Yet time after time, her concerns were brushed aside by doctors who told her she was just fine. It wasn't until Lori visited renowned OB/GYN Dr. Thais Ali-Abadi that she finally got answers. Lori was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS, and endometriosis, two conditions many women quietly struggle with. PCOS is a hormonal imbalance that can lead to irregular cycles, infertility issues, and body changes, while endometriosis means painful tissue growth outside the uterus. Lori's courage in speaking up shines a light on the importance of listening to one's body and never giving up until you're heard. Her story is lifting spirits everywhere and reminding us, if someone you know is living with invisible pain, a little compassion can make all the difference. Lori Harvey's openness isn't just helping herself, it's helping countless women realize they're never alone. That's a legacy worth celebrating, today and always. News 3. Imagine coming together to honor a life well lived. Today, Britain's royal family did just that, gathering at Westminster Cathedral for the heartfelt funeral of Catherine, Duchess of Kent, who passed away peacefully at 92. Her grace and enduring commitment to service inspired a generation, and mourners including King Charles, Prince William, and the Princess of Wales paid their respects at this historical requiem mass. Queen Camilla, age 78, was sadly unable to attend, as she's recovering from acute sinusitis. Even so, her thoughts and prayers were deeply with the Duchess's family and friends, sending heartfelt wishes for comfort from Windsor. Among those honoring the Duchess, we saw familiar faces from both the royal family and Britain's arts and sports communities, a true testament to how widely Catherine touched lives. As we remember the Duchess of Kent, we celebrate a legacy filled with compassion, duty, and kindness. Her memory offers a gentle reminder: living graciously leaves a lasting mark on the world, and she will be remembered with admiration and affection for years to come. News 4. Let's take a heartwarming journey with a true musical legend, Cat Stevens, known to many as Yusuf Islam. Now 75, Cat Stevens is sharing never-before-told chapters of his remarkable life in his new memoir, Cat on the Road to Find Out. First rising to fame in the swinging 60s with hits like Matthew and Son and The First Cut is the Deepest, Stevens faced a life-altering battle with tuberculosis that changed the course of his career and sparked an inspiring quest for peace and deeper meaning. His story didn't stop there. In 1975, he survived a near drowning, calling it a miraculous moment that forever changed him. Just a couple of years later, gifted a copy of the Quran by his brother, Cat embraced Islam, changed his name to Yusuf Islam, and stepped away from the spotlight to focus on faith, family, and humanitarian work. Today, with more than 100 million records sold, Yusuf's timeless music, think Wild World and Peace Train, still touches hearts across generations. But perhaps even more moving is the life of hope, resilience, and giving back that he's built behind the scenes. Through his activism and poetry, Cat Stevens reminds us all that it's never too late for a new beginning, and that true legacy lies in the love and inspiration we share with the world. News 5. Let me tell you about a remarkable mom whose story is inspiring hearts across the country today. In Ohio, 33-year-old Emily Gordon was overjoyed to learn she was expecting her third child. But just weeks into her pregnancy, she received devastating news. Emily was diagnosed with aggressive breast cancer. Doctors told her that while they knew she had cancer, they couldn't confirm how advanced it was until after her baby's birth, leaving the Gordon family facing months of uncertainty and fear. Despite this challenge, Emily's spirit shines through. She's balancing chemotherapy treatments while nurturing her growing baby, determined to do everything possible for both her children and herself. Emily works closely with her medical team to make the safest choices, ensuring her unborn child has the best shot at a healthy start. Support from her husband and local community has poured in, offering meals, prayers, and small acts of kindness that help Emily focus on each day's battle. Through it all, she remains hopeful, cherishing every moment with her family. Emily Gordon's courage reminds us of the incredible strength found in love and motherhood. As her story travels far and wide, she inspires all of us to offer compassion, understanding, and hope to those facing tough times. Emily's bravery will be remembered not just for fighting cancer, but for showing that even on uncertain days, hope and family come first. Number 1. Music is the strongest form of magic. Sidney Omen Brown lived by that belief, and through his work, proved it true. A Grammy-winning producer from Harlem, Omen transformed the sound of modern hip-hop and R&B. With a precise ear and deep soul, he shaped tracks that moved both hearts and charts. His talents live on in songs by Beyoncé, Drake, Lil Wayne, and many more. Omen wasn't just behind the boards, he was behind the success of others. His early work with Rockefeller laid the groundwork for a remarkable career. He scored the cult classic film Paper Soldiers, then soared to new heights in 2006 with Ludacris's Grammy-winning album. That breakout moment led to collaborations that defined a decade. In 2010, he co-produced Drake's Shut It Down on Thank Me Later. The track helped launch the rapper's rise to superstardom. That same year, Omen helped craft I'm Single for Lil Wayne, featured on chart-topping albums and admired for its fresh, moody sound. His touch added something special, cool, honest, and unforgettable. Beyond the studio, Omen was a beloved mentor and community figure in Harlem. At local venues, behind the DJ booth, and in conversations with young artists, he gave back freely. Ethel's, a neighborhood music spot, said he was a major part of what made Ethel's beat from the very beginning. He touched every corner of the industry, from chart hits with Fabulous to deep cuts with Immortal technique. Every project carried his fingerprint, innovative yet true. Those who worked with him speak of his kindness, his dedication, and the way he made you feel seen. Sidney Omen Brown passed away suddenly at age 49. The cause has not been publicly disclosed, and his family is asking for privacy during this time. His influence won't fade. His beats still echo in headphones, studios, and hearts across the world. The music he made and the lives he touched are his true legacy, tributes to Sidney Omen Brown. With grace, talent, and warmth, Patricia lit up every stage she stood on and every heart she touched.